Hello, and welcome back to my perfume channel, which is called Sniffing Around. I'm not a professional perfume reviewer. Here my dog barks, the cat meows, so bear with me. And let's start with the last so far video in the series of the brand reviews. I was in Paris this summer and I visited a lot of boutiques and I brought a lot of new stuff with me. I've already filmed Le Labo, Nichane, other brands. So today we're gonna talk about my most favorite brand ever, Dries Van Noten. Founded in 20th century, it quickly gained attention, and until very recently it stayed independent. Only in 2018 it was bought by Spanish Puig, like a big retailer conglomerate. And only in 2024, Dries Van Noten, the creator, announced that he'll be departing from the brand as a creative director, but will stay close to the production. And honestly, I was kind of scared because, as I already mentioned, this is my favorite perfume brand because the presentation and everything that they have is just stunning. But it results that I have nothing to worry about. Their recent perfume launch is just perfect. So without further ado, let's just start talking about this. Dries Van Noten has recently launched the perfume that is called Havana Gold. I have it here. So I was given this small tester in my favorite Paris boutique by my favorite seller on Soie Malaquais in Paris. And when I first looked at the notes, I was like, oh no, this is the beginning of the end. This can't be good because it has licorice and anise and I absolutely hate them. But this one is so good. This is one of the best winter scents that I ever tried. Despite being called Havana, I think it will be more practical in the winter time because it's quite heavy and dense, but it also is super warm, cozy, and enveloping. And so if we speak about the notes, I sprayed a little bit here because I still want to use it on me. It is very, very warm. I can't smell any of anise. I really hate it because when I was in India, it was used everywhere in the toilets. I'm sorry for spoiling the associations, but like it is what it is. It's used in the toilets in India. I hate it. And the licorice is not my favorite thing in sweets. Yet, this mostly smells of rum and tobacco, as if you were like having a really good rum somewhere, like a spiced rum, somewhere in Havana on the beach in Cuba, in a posh, this place made for the foreigners where they don't let you out really. And it also smells of a really good tobacco. I really appreciate the nice tobacco scents without being like a cigarette as is, like an acros smoke. It's too much for me. And here, really cozy, posh, enveloping, more leaning on the masculine side, but I will definitely wear it in the winter time. And to me, it's comparable to two of my favorite scents. First is Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir. And I even think that now a full bottle won't be Grand Soir, although I really adore it. But it will be Havana Gold because of the presentation, because of my full dedication to Dries Van Noten. And the other one is called Amber by US fashion brand Rag & Bone. Amber is not mentioned in the notes, and we all know that this is a fantasy note. But to me, this masterpiece is more or less in the ambery family. So if the retailers in your country, I know Dries doesn't have a lot of boutiques, but if the retailers in your country already brought Dries Van Noten's Havana Gold and you love cozy scents and you're not strongly against boozy scents and tobacco scents, give it a try. As we started from the wintry scents, I have here Rock the Myrrh. I don't really have enough of it because I love it so much. This is definitely a full bottle. Myrrh is one of my favorite ingredients in perfumery. I will definitely have a full video about all the myrrhs I have. I think I have over 4 or 5. And it's normally used in the church as an incense, both in Catholic and Orthodox. I'm Orthodox, so it bears some resemblance with my childhood and things like that. But it's called Rock the Myrrh. And it has a little bit of joke in it because sometimes myrrh smells like cola, especially when wrapped with something sweet. And this one has benzene in the foundation and it really smells as if you spilled cola on your favorite posh sweater jacket. So if you do like incense as an idea, but you want something fancy out of it, like a party in the church, give a try to Rock the Myrrh. And also the bottle that I'm gonna put here is just, oh, I love it so much. But we're gonna speak about the bottles a bit later. Moving on, I'm gonna talk about presentation of the brand and the packaging a lot. So this one is the tester for Vanilla Camouflage by Dries Van Noten. And I really love the fact that they have this small little cap. I wish it had a spray, but it's really beautiful. I mean, look at this. And when it had the initial packaging, you probably know that Dries Van Noten packs all the perfumes in a reused recycled paper. So this was also packed in a board, like in a cupboard, but it also had the print from the bottle on the background, so you could, see through it. And I would say that Vanilla Camouflage is a vanilla for vanilla haters. It's not gourmandy at all. And my favorite comparison that I created for myself is that when you enter a flower shop, it's normally very cold there. Someone is cutting the flowers to insert them into the bouquets. And there is some, sugar or thing that I put in the water to keep the flowers alive for a longer time. So this is exactly how Vanilla Camouflage smells. And I think this is galbanum probably in the pyramid that makes it smell in a particular way. But if you really don't like this, sweetened caramelly perfumes and you want something interesting, this is probably your choice. Vanilla Camouflage is one of the most unusual gourmands I ever came across. Finally, we're coming to my only full bottle so far because I have 3 Dries Van Notens in my wish list. I'm gonna talk about this later. But this is Soie Malaquais. Their absolute bestseller, and I spoke about it a lot in a blackcurrant video because the blackcurrant is one of the most prominent notes here in this perfume. But first of all, let's talk about the presentation. Look at the heavy cap. It's like, it's so heavy. It sticks perfectly. It has the engraving that says Dries Van Noten here. The bottle is refillable, so you can, like when you go to the shop, they take a key, take off this thing, refill the bottle, and you can go back home with your perfume. This is the porcelain ceramics. This was done, of course, manually. This reminds me a lot of my favorite azulejo from Portugal, which covers most of the houses in Porto and Lisbon. And also the glass is like very hard. It is produced on a special factory for Dries Van Noten, and it's like absolutely unbreakable. As you can see, this is 100 milliliters, and it sticks a bit inside of the ceramics to keep the decor. As of the perfume, I think it's one of the most cozy scents that I have. This is definitely like my top 3 perfume. The smells of blackcurrant, warm cocoa, and chestnut. And it really suits the cozy evenings and home wrapped in blanket. But I also wore it to all the fancy operas in Paris this February. And now I have strong associations with a posh lifestyle when I use it. It doesn't smell pissy at all, as blackcurrant normally does, because it's wrapped by other notes in here. And also there's a very interesting story behind the perfume. It was inspired by silks that are sold in Dries Van Noten's boutique, like the silk scarves. And so it has silk as the note. I don't really think that silk smells, but it's beautiful. Of course, when I speak of Dries Van Noten, like 300 euro per bottle, I think it's like 280 or something, but like, let's say 300 euro is a lot. I mean, but for this kind of presentation, totally worth every penny. And now let's move to my other favorites that I had but finished, and or my friends had, or I'm going to have. First of all, my wish list for full bottles is, as I mentioned, Havana Gold, Rock the Myrrh, and I really also am a big fan of Cannabis Patchouli. Cannabis Patchouli is a favorite perfume of Dries Van Noten himself. Despite the name, it's not patchouli-ish and not cannabisy, so it doesn't smell like night in Amsterdam. I hate it. I really love that it smells greeny and fresh, and it's also peppery in some sense. I don't even have the tester with me. I can only look at the notes, but they don't tell anything. But because as I say, it's not really cannabis and patchouli, and most of Dries Van Noten's scents are really, really unisex. So I definitely want to have it in my collection. Another one that I really liked is Fleur du Mal, the flower of evil, dedicated to the poem by Baudelaire, French poet. And the notes are typical for this profile, but just the bottle is so beautiful that you could probably consider it. It's with a leopard print and purple gloss. I will put it here. So it's a typical peachy leathery scent, because normally peach is accompanied by sweater in the base to not sound too useful. And from this scent profile, I preferred Guerlain's Pêche Mirage, because for me it's a masterpiece, but they're really quite similar. I mean, peach is commonly combined with this note, and it has also a lot of osmanthus. I gave it away to my friend in Poland, and she really loves it and considers a full bottle. So if you do like a sophisticated peach, not a useful one, not an escada style, go for it. I also had Rosa Carnivora, and it's mentioned in my rose video on this channel earlier. I think it's the most popular video on my channel. Actually, I don't know why, because probably no one reviews roses, but like with my appearance, with my gypsy style, I do wear roses a lot. So Rosa Carnivora, let me quickly look at the notes. I finished it this summer in Paris, so it has, apart from rose, it has pink pepper, vetiver, patchouli, and labdanum, typical profile. But despite patchouli and despite labdanum, it was nothing like Portrait of a Lady. It was super light, modern, wearable, and also a very, very beautiful bottle with the zebra ceramics on it. If you're looking for a good, like decent rose fragrance that will not betray you and smell like grandma in the dry down, you can try this one. And also I can't help but mention Mystic Moss, which is not an EDP as the rest of the perfumes in the line, but there are also 4 EDTs that are distinguished by the absence of ceramics in the bottom. And Mystic Moss is a very green scent that starts as a citrus and then dries down to woody, mossy kind of smell. It's unisex again, and it resembles a lot a smell by Le Labo that is their city special. It's called Moustachen, and my friend is a big fan of moss in perfumery, and we compared the two, and she opted for Le Labo's Moustachen finally. But I can see that these two smells are very similar, and if you kind of want something from Dries Van Noten but can't afford €300, this one is cheaper because it's an EDT, but still 100 milliliters, and you can give it a try. Finally, I will just put some footage from my visit to Dries Van Noten in February and now in August, and mention once again the thing I spoke about in my TikTok. Before, they didn't have the discovery sets. They did have some testers that they gave you in the shop, and normally the sellers in Dries Van Noten give you a lot of things to take away and to consider. But now they have the discovery kit. One of those is pre-chosen, and I think it has the hits like Fleur du Mal, Soie Malaquais, and maybe chamomile, but I don't remember. Satin chamomile it's called. But you can also compose your own discovery set with a very beautiful travel size. And as much as I want to do this, I think I will still stick to the full bottles. I'd better buy them one by one in different years rather than, buy 10 milliliters. They are all 10 milliliters in this discovery set and waste them very quickly because it's one of my favorite brands and I use them a lot. I showed you the dent in Rock the Myrrh, it's almost over. One of my favorite brands, whenever you have the chance, whenever you're in Paris, Belgium, or whenever they have shops, I think in Tokyo as well, or New York, I think so, just go and check This is so beautiful. They have perfect packaging. Everything, including lipsticks, is refillable. Wonderful experience and wonderful brand. Thanks you for watching this, and see you in my next videos. We're gonna be getting back to the notes.